Afternoon, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through everything you need to film a POV street photography video. Let's go. Okay, first of all, what do we think of the setup? Because this is the first time I've gone hard on the lighting, and I like it. I think it looks good. I think it looks professional. I know, professional on this channel, madness. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about how to film a POV street photography video. Now, if you've been around with my channel for a while, or you've just had a browse through, you'll know that I film a lot of these videos, and they're, besides the vlogs, probably one of my favorite videos to film. Few reasons why. Probably the biggest reason why I love filming these videos is because I can create a video from literally just doing what I love. I can create a video from just walking around a city, a town, a coastal location, anywhere, and just take photos. And I get to make a video out of that. And you guys seem to love it because they are my highest performing videos on my channel. And that's awesome. So I wanted to take you through, if you've ever wanted to be able to create one of these videos, wondered how your favorite YouTubers or your favorite photography YouTubers do so, if you've been thinking about YouTube yourself, I would say they're a really good way to start in YouTube. And yeah, we're just going to go through everything that you need because it's not actually that much to do so. Before we get into it, if you don't mind, do me a massive favour, drop below and hit the thumbs up button. It massively helps me out. And while you're down there, subscribe if you aren't already. If you already have subscribed, I'm not talking to you, you've already done it. But if you're not subscribed and you're new to the channel or you find yourself coming back, come on, join the community. We've just hit, we've just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you so much. I can't, it means the world to me. Genuinely, it's not that I didn't think we'd get to this point, but I'm gassed. We hit 300 subscribers and that's another milestone, and I'm just thankful because 300 people is a lot of people. I could not stand up and talk to 300 of you in one room. I can talk to one camera, but I could not talk to 300 people. So yeah, thank you again. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling on, get into the video. Now, as I say, you may be wanting to get into YouTube, and this might be quite a good way for you to get in. And it's actually, was it the first thing I filmed? These sort of videos were one of the first sort of videos that I did because I watched a lot of North Borders, 7th Era, and Hayden Bedison, but especially North Borders and 7th Era. I was really into their channels. I still am, don't get me wrong. They are awesome guys that create awesome content. But right when I started my channel is when their POV street photography videos were doing really, really well on YouTube. And it's all I was seeing everywhere. And I really wanted to make these videos myself. I then later came across the likes of Mike Chudley, who's a UK photographer, and he also does a lot of these POV videos up in London, which is where I do my ones. Predominantly I do them elsewhere, but predominantly I do them up in London because I love photographing London. But long story short, my point is, if you're wanting to get into YouTube, if you've been thinking about it for a while and you want to make photography content, I think these sorts of videos are a really great place to start. Effectively, all you really need to create these videos are three things: camera, second camera, editing software. That's literally it. We're going to dive into the nitty gritty now, but they're effectively the three things that you're going to need to create these videos. So first things first is the camera. Obviously I use my Sony a7 III. I'm shooting on that now, so I can't show you the camera itself, but that is what I'm shooting with in all of my POV street photography videos. You will see the Sony a7 III in my hand. Lens choice is where it comes up to you. And I've particularly found, letting you know the secrets of the trade here, I've found that by titling your videos after a specific lens that you're using, or the location is the best way to get views. I think that creates the most engaging title and it gets people's attention the most. And if you're looking at buying a lens and you're looking at reviews online, seeing the lens in action is a really good way to get the idea of it, whether or not you're going to like that lens. So for example, quite recently I did a POV street photography video with this. This is my new 70 to 180mm sticker there, so I can't forget it. I picked this up a couple months ago now, and I've done a couple of videos with it, and especially did a POV street photography video with it to see how good it was for street photography. It wasn't my main purpose for buying this lens, but I still did a video with it, and that actually did really, really well. That video did really well. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not all about how well the video does, but if you are looking at doing these videos because you want to make them for YouTube, it's a good place to start, is pick a lens and try and shoot with that one. So this is not, I would say this isn't the typical lens you would do street photography with, and it's not my go-to street photography lens, but it made a really interesting video and I got some bangers out of that video. So that's a really good one. But my personal go-tos and personal favorites for filming street photography videos would have to be the Sony 50mm 1.8 and the Sony 85mm 1.8. As you know, if you've been on this channel for a while, you know that I love compression. I love slightly more cropped lenses, zoomed in lenses. I really love primes, but obviously zoom lenses do the job as well. But especially the 85mm. This is my favorite lens, and I've also done a video in the past about why this is my favorite street photography lens. I'll link that up above and in the description below so you can go check that out. But these two lenses are my go-tos. If I'm ever going to go film a POV street photography video where I'm not specifically testing out a lens, it will be one of these lenses on my camera. I love it. I often also have the 17 to 28mm on my camera, which I'm filming on right now. However, as you may also know, I'm not a massive wide shooter, and I recently challenged myself in a POV video to shoot wide only, and I'll link that up above. And again, I specifically mentioned that lens in the title, and it did better than some of the other ones. So, yeah, picking your lenses. But honestly, the whole point of these videos is to go out and shoot what you love, to go out and just make a video doing what you love, shooting. So just pick the lens you want to use for that day, pick your favorite lens, whatever. Unless I'm specifically like, okay, today I want to shoot with this lens and I want to make the video on this lens, I'm not going to force myself to use any lens for a video, because I'm not going to get good photos, I'm not going to enjoy the process, and that's the biggest thing with making these videos. I personally think they do a hell of a lot better, and I prefer watching other people's videos when you can actually tell they're enjoying taking the photos. They're getting better photos, and the whole video is more enjoyable because they are enjoying themselves. And this is in no way limited to street photography. This whole video is aimed at POV. Almost said it again. POV photography videos. Doesn't have to be street photography. That's just force of habit because they're the ones I make the most. So the second thing you'll need is a second camera. I use the GoPro, and I'll probably keep referring to your second camera as a GoPro. Force of habit because that's what I use. But you can use any camera. You can use one of the DJI ones. Action cameras are probably best because you can get the accessories, which we'll talk about in a minute. And they're smaller. They're just easier. They usually got a wider angle on them. So yeah, I use the GoPro. You can use the DJI. I think they're called Osmos or whatever the DJI action cams are. You could, if you get some sort of way of mounting your phone to sort of your chest area, you could use your iPhone or any phone for that matter. And I'm pretty sure it was 7th Era. He strapped a Sony A7S II, I think it was, to his chest to film a POV video. Probably overkill, but if you want the quality, if you've got the spare camera, go for it. Do what you want. But I use a GoPro. This is a Hero 6. You don't need the latest and greatest. This is the Hero 6. It does the job absolutely fine, as you will see from the videos. And I have 3 different mounts to mount this to my body to be able to get that POV look. So when doing action stuff, I often find the best POV look for GoPros and action cams is when it's mounted to your mouth. So I've actually got it's like a little scuba diving thing that you bite onto and it mounts your GoPro. That looks really good because it's as close as you're going to get really to your eye level, and it looks as if you are the person doing the thing in the video. Street photography, I am not going to walk around with a GoPro in my mouth. First couple of street photography videos I did, I actually filmed them on my head mount, where I put the head mount on because my hair got a big hair, it goes fluffy out the sides. Had the GoPro there, or I think I actually had it hanging down, which is really annoying because it's right in front of your face. And I put a flat cap on to cover the GoPro so I didn't look too much of an idiot. But I hate head mounts. Ever since I discovered the chest mount, I now hate head mounts. So what I now predominantly use is the GoPro chest mount. This isn't even the official GoPro one. I picked this up on Amazon out of a bundle deal where I got like 99 GoPro accessories for like 30 quid or something ridiculous like that. I'll drop a link below if you're interested, if I can find it. But yeah, this is the GoPro chest mount, so it sits right here, gives a really good angle, because often I think it's really good for these videos as well because you're holding the camera at about chest height. Normally, if you're using mirrorless camera or if you're just used to shooting through the LCD display, the reason I say mirrorless camera there is because when I used to have a DSLR, never shot through the LCD. I always shot through the viewfinder, but you never know. But if you're shooting through the LCD display, this is a really good angle because it's often going to be in your chest, in front of your chest, and you can see the display, see the full camera. It just looks like a really good angle for these videos. You'll see right now I've got some weird little clip on here. That is because last weekend I went out and filmed a POV video using my Olympus film camera, which will be on the channel when I get that film developed, so probably not for a while, but keep an eye out, shooting Portrait 400. And it was 30-ish degrees down in Brighton. Too hot to wear a chest mount. I was not going to put it on. So I had my camera bag on and I clipped this onto the strap like so. Turn it around like that. And it kind of sits off to the side. I did that for... In fact, I don't even think I did that. I've done that before in a video. But on Saturday, what I ended up doing was I clipped it like this because I've got a chest harness thing for the bag. Clipped onto that. So it was dead center in my chest. Almost the same as a chest mount. Only difference is it was wobbling around more. So I'm yet to review the footage. I don't know if it's come out really, really wobbly or not. So the chest mount would have been better for that situation, but it was too hot. I was not wearing a chest mount. So that's another option. If you don't want to buy a chest mount, or if you just don't want to wear a chest mount, that's another option you've got. Another option that I use, there are probably more options for mounting GoPros or action cameras to yourself to film these videos. These are 3 or 4, if you include the head mount, options that I've had experience with and I use. Little hot shoe mount. This lives in my bag because it's so small and it's so easy, and it means that if I ever want to just quickly film a POV video and I haven't got my chest mount with me, I'm not stuck. I can still do it. So I will mount that onto the top of your camera, onto the hot shoe. You put your GoPro on top. I find it better to angle the GoPro slightly down in the ultra wide view, or the widest view that your GoPro or action cam can do, so that you can see the lens a little bit. It just gives a bit more perspective to the scene and helps your viewer understand where you are, where the camera is being mounted to, and then you've got it straight on the camera. Not the biggest fan of this setup because often you're moving your camera around. I think it's a bit disorientating and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it works better if you're just for little clips to put into a main video. I think it works better for that sort of situation. But in a pinch, I will use one of these ones. I actually did my Sintra Portugal POV street photography video on this little guy. So really easy way just to quickly capture it, and it means you haven't got to wear a harness. It means you haven't got to clamp or attach a action camera to you in any way, shape or form. You can just mount it straight onto the camera. Okay, and the final thing you're going to need to film a POV photography video, editing software. You're going to need to edit this in some way. It can be free, can be paid for. I personally use Premiere Pro. Have done since I started film editing. Obviously there are other options out there. The only thing I would say is you definitely need something that can support multi-track editing. Preferably both audio and video multi-track, because obviously you're going to have your video footage and then you're going to have your photos overlaid on top. Be that if you want to, sometimes I'll do it, I'll put a white screen and then the photo on top of that, or just have the photo on my screen so you can still see the POV action happening in the background. However you want to do it, you still need to be able to layer the photos on top of the video throughout the movie, so it needs to be able to support multi-track. Because of that, I think that rule at the moment that rules out using iPads, because I know a lot of people are trying to move over to iPads for video editing. I'm pretty sure at the moment iPads can only support 1 track on the apps that are currently out there. That may change. That might be outdated information by the time you see this video. And the reason I say you need multi-tracks for audio as well is because chuck some music on. I think I personally prefer to watch them with a little beat going in the background. Gives a mood, gives a bit of sense of continuity to the video itself. I have done ones in the past, I've seen them in the past where the photographer will talk through the video, explain what they're doing, explain what they're shooting and for that, which I really like as well. That works really well. Pretty sure in the 1 or 2 of them that I've done, I've still put music on underneath as well, just to give that flow. If there's any pauses where I'm not talking, keeps the video moving instead of just kind of stagnant and stopping still. So that's it. That is everything you need to film a POV photography video. Really easy. I don't want to generalize, but it's stuff that most photographers, videographers nowadays have. I think everyone sort of has a action camera. Everyone's got, obviously if you're a photographer or videographer, you're going to have your main camera anyway, and you're going to have a workstation with some software that you edit on. I don't want to make that assumption. Obviously not everyone will have the same situation or case, but as I say, most people have GoPros nowadays. They've been around for years. Everyone's usually got one tucked away somewhere. And if not, you can pick them up cheap. You don't have to get the latest and greatest GoPro. It doesn't even have to be a GoPro. I would say the minimum spec, I would say, is just needs to be able to record in HD, 1080p. And then you'll be good to go, to be honest. So anything you need, whatever, that's everything you need. If you want to get started making these videos, that is what you need. I didn't buy any of this specifically for making POV videos. I had the GoPro because I love GoPros for travel content when I go on holidays. I think it's just such a great way to capture memories. As I say, I already had the accessories for it all because I bought that in one big go. And I just shoot with whatever lens I've got. I don't go My jacket potato's done. I don't go out and buy lenses specifically for POV photography videos. I went out and bought a vintage lens specifically for a POV photography video, but that's also because I wanted to shoot with the vintage lens. That doesn't count. Okay, anyway, my jacket potato is done. I need to go get that out of the oven before it burns. That is all for me. If you are making POV street photography videos, or you're gonna, or you will do in the future, let me know in the comments. I want to see them. I want to see them. Yeah, just let me know in the comments. I will reply to every comment. Like the video if you don't mind. It massively helps me out. Supports with the algorithm. Subscribe if you aren't already. All the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to take the shot. Peace.